I can't see shit. Didn't think this through, didn't I? Fuck's sake. But
No.
You don't get to
Oh,
leave.
God.
That's a 6. I'm
You're
crying.
not
Alright.
sick.
Talk about that. If that's where you going with that, we going with the fucking. He about to go play in Australia.
Hold on.
Don't bring him up no.
So, like, I'm not denying what you're saying is not true. But Hartenstein,
Whether you believe he's efficient or not, considering his play style, it's not. Josh Hart was the MVP of this series. He was there. If he wasn't scoring,
You had all the goddamn barbecue brisket for your little bitch ass down in Dallas for your
3-point shooter. So having that next to Jalen Brunson and OG is very.
yeah. It's
Oh,
looking camera
shit.
off today, bro. That shit was lagging during the video.
you shouldn't have seen what I just did there.
That's all
Anyways, it is the NBA offseason. Chicago Bulls and Cavaliers. Hoopsters podcast, episode 19. Me personally, I would have just did it as NBA offseason, episode 2, season 2. But Mr. Big Boss is why we have it like this. We already have one person coming in. Oh, wow. Mr. Dester? That's crazy. All right, so this episode is going to be about the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, I already have a few questions I want to ask you guys, but let's start off with the good things before I start going to hating, because you know I want to. Did I say Mr. Dester? Miss Dester? Did I say that? I thought I said Mr. Dester.
You said Mr. He just probably heard your accent wrong. You know, that's how I be saying.
Yeah, he be hating. I got a song for that. It's crazy. My question for you guys is, what's the bright spot for these teams? So we're gonna start off first with the Chicago Bulls. So what's the bright spot for the Chicago Bulls this season?
I mean, the bright spot is they have a direction. They finally at least aren't going to be middle of the pack. Now they're going to be bottom of the bottom. Sometimes you need to go through that because DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, that was getting you nowhere with Nikola Vucevic, and we all knew that. So going into one of the most talented draft classes that we've had with Cooper Flag, other buddy Ace Bailey. I'm not really too into the draft, but people been hyping this one up, so yeah, at least they're going to be able to tank in. They got a bunch of young players now, especially Kobe White. He just was the runner-up for most improved players, so the fact that they're getting talent off of their team means they're going to just have a year where they see what Kobe White's ceiling is, you know? Josh Giddey, they're going to see what his floor is, because it's possible that boy could be out the league, no cap. But if he could stay on the roster, he's going to be on an expiring deal. Hopefully he plays for a contract, you know? Patrick Williams, hopefully DeMar being gone gives him some more opportunity. Their rookie that they took at pick 11, who was projected to be like a top 5 pick, Matas Buzelis, he's going to be a point forward, which is maybe a weird fit, kind of plays like Andre Karolinko-ish, but will they draft talent, figure out what you do with it. I like Dalen Terry on that team. He's cool. I would assume we just talked about him. I like him as a POA defender, nice shooter. Jalen Smith, who they signed in free agency, honestly, they should start him over Nikola Vucevic. Get Vucevic mad, make him force himself to get bought out, because get him off the team. Get a young player, Jalen Smith, just tank. Yeah, I like it for the Chicago Bulls. They didn't get that much value back, I'll agree. Yeah, they sold everything for pennies on the dollar, but they did what they had to do.
And what's with your what about you? Wait. Jester says, I'm probably tripping. Never mind. Carry on, Lamau. Yeah, we know you're tripping. Get ready to see some more Ayu. Start to find his groove second half of the season. I was gonna get onto that when it's my turn, but let's go, Elijah.
I think Mar pretty much said everything there to say about the Bulls. I mean, I've always really liked Ayo. I've really liked Patrick Williams. It's gonna be nice to see them be forced to play a more prominent role in terms of this team winning games. I don't think Josh Giddey is going to work out. I think he's going to end up getting traded by the end of this season. And I don't know if they got enough back for DeMar DeRozan. Like Chris Duarte and 2 second-rounders is just not for someone the caliber of DeMar DeRozan. Had you traded him 6 months ago, he would have gone for probably multiple firsts. But now you're getting seconds.
I agree with you.
And a player that the Kings really didn't even use in their overall lineups anyways. So it's like, I don't know. The Bulls chose a direction, but this is probably the worst way that you could possibly choose a direction. I feel like this is probably the worst rebuild I've ever seen in my life. They traded Alex Caruso for no first. They traded DeMar DeRozan for no first. Like Zach LaVine, they're trying to attach a first to him. So I am awestruck by the incompetence.
You think it's the worst?
If it's not the worst, it's one of the worst.
I was gonna say the Nets.
No, the Nets got multiple firsts, and they got their own first back, so they can actually take.
I'm not talking about the Nets. That Nets. I'm talking about the Nets in the 2010s.
That wasn't a rebuild Nets. That was a retool Nets. They were trying to retool for a championship when they got Paul Pierce and KG.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh wait, yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's a retool.
Yeah, they're trying to be competitive, and they just
This is the worst rebuild I've ever seen.
Oh, they were competitive. I can tell you that. Competitive for the first round, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is bad. Like maybe those old Sixers teams, though, that's like the only teams I could see when they were just tanking and not getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, I think that's what they trying to do, honestly. Yeah.
But the difference is when it comes to the Sixers, I get it. It looks like I'm defending myself because I kind of have to. The difference is because we had our own picks and we were actually just tanking because we were trying to get the first round, like the number one pick. The Bulls were trying to win, even though they should be tanking. Those are two completely different reasons. We're talking about from this season on. Oh, this season on.
Yeah, now they're gonna try and do it.
Now that they're trying to tank.
What do you still say then? Okay, now that they're now trying to tank, at least with the Sixers back then, they had a vision already. This team has still some like players that they can't get rid of. And some of the players that they got rid of was for negative value. Like they got Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey, a clear negative value. They got rid of DeMar DeRozan for Chris Duarte and 2 second rounders. I would say it's like neutral or slightly negative value. Like they did not get themselves better.
Allen Iverson for?
I will have to check for you now, honestly.
What did y'all get rid of Allen Iverson for? You got Chauncey. You got Chauncey. Okay. You didn't give me picks.
Sent Allen Iverson and the forward Ivan McFarlane to Denver Nuggets for Andre Miller, Joe Smith, and 2 first-round picks, which is around the back then.
So you got 2 firsts.
Yeah, we got 2 firsts. So, and back then, that's kind of like what you would get for a superstar, anyways. So, yeah, I mean, it's not that bad.
It's not terrible. I think these are still 2 of the worst rebuilds I've ever seen. I'll be honest with you. The fact that they started in 2007 and they didn't get good again until 2017, 18. That's when Embiid got there, but then he was injured for the first 2 seasons, I believe.
2 seasons. Yeah, so we would have to say, oh no, you're right. 2017, 18, yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
So it's about a decade of like some of the worst basketball I've ever seen in terms of rebuilding. Yeah, no. No, it's Sixers in this Bulls team right now. These 2 are the worst rebuilds I've ever seen in my life.
No, this Hornets rebuild has been going on since Kemba Walker's been there. Like that Hornets one been.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say
that. The Hornets is different because they started off with no top prospects. They were expansion team.
I'll give that. I'll let them give that excuse. Yeah, the Bulls they had like Jordan and shit. They in a big market. That is kind of sad, but they did get a $20 million trade exception, which is stupid to me. Like, why are you adding?
Sign somebody, bro. Stupid.
Yeah, bro. They added a 3rd team with the San Antonio Spurs because they're like the Kings. We do not want your pick, but can we get a $20 million trade exception instead? Like. It's like I'm happy they're blowing it up, but like you couldn't do it no stupider way. But at least they blowing it up, bro. Whatever.
Josh Giddey being a clear negative is crazy. Have you watched Josh Giddey play basketball ever?
Well, what did he say?
You tell me what Josh Giddey is good at on the basketball court, other than giving the ball to other people to be good on the basketball court.
1 second.
rebounding, but he only rebounds to pass it. Josh Giddey,
he's not finishing.
Let me get onto some of this text. Da Vinci link. DM me Dev and I'll send you the link. Why y'all on YouTube Shorts? This is not YouTube Shorts though. I need to remember who this is. I can't remember. Just being a clear negative is crazy. Josh Giddey being clear negative is crazy. I mean, when you go from one of the most valuable guard defenders you can guard 1-3-3, who is a legit floor spacer, you could also pass and play make, not at like a greater level, but at a good enough level for him to start. The only reason why he doesn't start is because because of the amount of defensive, like how much they lean on him defensively to do everything. Like if you give him that much minutes as well, he will be cooked. I'm almost certain he plays almost like start level minutes as well. And then he said, and then also Cottage 81 says, "What's good, bro? What's good, homie?" And then I'm like, "Yo, what's good?" Daniel Barry's sports highlights. But yeah, go ahead.
What you said? Go ahead. Who you talking to?
Yeah, go ahead with what you guys were saying. Sorry, I just had to check.
Josh Giddey is, quite frankly, for what he does, he's pretty much a 6'8", 6'9" power forward that can't play power forward. So, what the fuck is he good at? Quite like, truthfully, he should be a point forward if he was able to score or move or doing it, because his rebounding ability is nice, his passing ability is good, not his playmaking, but his passing ability is good. But anything else on the court that you would consider basketball, Josh Giddey provides more to the Bulls. You're trolling. Okay, he's trolling. Never mind. We're moving on. He's trolling.
Josh Giddey provides more for the Bulls than who?
Than Caruso did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I disagree. I think one of the biggest issues, that's actually something I did want to bring up. What Josh Giddey did, one of the biggest issues with the Bulls is how they mismanaged the trades that they did. For example, Alex Caruso for the past like season or two have been going for like 2-3 first round picks, and even I think, if he should not be going for 3 first round picks. That should never be happening. I'm pretty sure at one point we was told that he was going for 4. So if you are telling me that he's going for 4 first rounders and they do not choose to pick him up, but instead they pick up Josh Giddey, and you're telling me you couldn't finagle, you couldn't get maybe 1 first round pick, not even one of the worst first round picks, when you know that the OKC has like 50 billion of them? Yeah, I don't know. I know what to say to you.
I don't like that take that people were not necessarily. I don't like the take, but I feel like the only people that benefited from those rumors of Alex Caruso being worth 4 first rounders is the Chicago Bulls. Sometimes teams have their own beat reporters write articles so other teams will be willing to offer those. And also, if there was 4 first rounders, I could promise you those are like protected like shit. Caruso,
for sure.
Yeah, Caruso, like I would probably gave like 1 max. I would have gave a unprotected and like a highly protected. Like they probably should have got like 1.5 first round picks for sure. I ain't gonna lie to you, but yeah, I feel like people are overblowing and saying like 3 first, bro. Like, come on, you're over at the end of the day.
I think for Caruso trade deadline peak, like everyone trying to be competitive, you could have got a pick, an unprotected, a protected, and a player. I think you could have gotten that for Caruso at the trade deadline when his value is always going to be at the max, when you're trying to add that 1 role player to push you over the top.
At the deadline, yeah, a team could get desperate for sure. I ain't gonna lie, especially with like how good he fits, and he ain't gonna be one of those guys that has to like, you have to bring in to fit your team. I could see that, but hey, it ain't happen. Hey, Chicago Bulls have him. If Sam Presti had him, he would have got that package though in return. I ain't gonna lie.
Sam Presti would have got picks on picks, bro. I believe that.
I'll get to that question, Cottage 81. But since you guys are going off with what's the bright spot for the Chicago Bulls, I'm gonna say mine. One of the biggest, we have a few bright spots on this team. One, I think I don't know if you guys have already brought it up, but I will talk about it. Question A1. 1 second. What Kobe White was able to do this season, and his progression into becoming a really good point guard for the future for this team. His shot creation going up a level, his ability to space the floor at on more volume has even gone up, because right now he's shooting 7 threes and is almost at 38%. Like, that is really good enough. That's a very good volume. Then he's also willing, like, 3-point shooter. Clearly can get downhill, is a really good shot, not really good shot creator, but a good shot creator for how young he is. And the thing I do now need to wait for him to see is when he actually really gets to that stage of being like a great playmaker, because that's when I think he's going to start breaking into that like top 30, not top 30, like top 40 player. Because the reason why I don't think he's a top 40, 50 player, the shot creation and everything is good and all, but I don't think he's gotten to the stage where like teams need to key in to his 3-point shooting, or teams need to key into his downhill threat, like at that point yet. So that's my thing. Also, Max, I've sent you the link in DMs on Discord, so make sure you know. But
he's definitely around where that like the Tyler Heroes and Tyrese Maxey's were last year.
Oh, I was about to say Tyrese Maxey left those conversations, bro.
Yeah, yo, like that player that like if they get that one extra thing, they're gonna be a top tier guy in the league. But he's not quite there yet. But he's very good at what he does, and I really like him. I like a lot of these young guys that are on this team.
Yeah,
specifically Patrick Williams. He came in as a project. He's clearly still being worked on. He's improved every year, in my opinion. That he hasn't been hurt at least. And I feel like once he can get some a lot more of his offensive game going, which I think he will this year with less DeMar DeRozan touches, he's going to be forced to just have more offensive touches. We're going to see an improvement on him. And that's what I just like. I like Matas. I like Kobe, like Patrick, like Ayo. When Ayo came in the league that first year, I was waiting for him to be able to get more starting spot minutes because he looked so promising. But unfortunately, with the team trying to be competitive, a lot of the younger guys got pushed to the side.
Yeah.
So the bright spot for this Chicago Bulls team is that even though they didn't get first round picks, the picks that they've had before are promising players.
I got you. So go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with that. Like the picks they got before are promising, just haven't had opportunities.
And the last one I want to talk about, Pat Will, you've already kind of explained that. I had assumed we're growing up to becoming a really good young POA defender, a decent passer playmaker, and I'm pretty sure he actually has grown into being able to actually space the floor somewhat, right? Yeah, he's at 4 attempts, 40%. Like, so he's already a floor spacer as well. I'm almost saying he's a corner shooter. He's one of those corner specialists.
You might be right.
Yeah, he's not shooting crazy.
But that's good enough. Like, I'm not asking him to be a consistent behind the arc shooter, like shot creator. That's not what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
But now that I've finished that question, the next question I'll have for you is 1 second. Is going to be what can they do to improve their team when it comes to this offseason? What do you think they could do to improve the team?
Javon Carter, he's not that bad of a POA defender. Not a terrible shooter. He shot pretty bad last year. I'm looking at it right now. But the years prior, he wasn't that bad. Pretty good defender. I don't know. Alex Caruso light. Can you get something for him? You ain't get shit for Caruso. Can you get something for Caruso light? I don't know. This team.
I like to keep Deion Terry, bro. He's one of those young guys that is like very promising as well.
Yeah. No, I said Javon Carter.
Oh, Javon Carter.
Yeah.
Didn't they move him?
Nah, he's still on the roster. That's what I'm saying. Like, he could go at this point too, man. Like,
He can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Nikola Vucevic, I don't even know what you trade for him, bro. Like, I don't know.
If you can't get a protected first for Vuce, your GM's bad.
I'm gonna be honest. Nah. Vuce is actually really, really bad. He's really not good. He's not on defense. He's regressed on the offense.
If you can't get a protected first for Vuce, your GM is bad.
I would give them a W if they get 2 seconds, bro.
2 seconds, wild.
Yeah, bro. His contract is wild. He's bad on defense. He's not good on offense. Like Vucevic does nothing but rebound the ball.
I was gonna say that, like, I don't think you understand. Like, Vooch nowadays is not good. Like, the reason why you would want Vooch back in the day, and even then, it was kind of is because he's one of those bigs, especially at the 5 position, who can space the floor for your team. That's what he bring to a team, is that floor, that like rare floor spacing capability from the 5 position. And he's like, at that time he was like a real shooter. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
he had like 3 years. He had like 3 years. Yeah,
he shot 39%. Where did that go?
Like, he had like you said, he had a specific time where he's like spacing the floor on crazy volume. Like in the 2020-2021 season, he's shooting 6 threes at 40%. Like like he is a shooter on the Orlando Magic. And then he kind of just never had that again. Like, yeah, he shot 35% on 4 attempts 2 seasons ago. But like that was his main thing that he brought up. And when he lost that ability to really space the floor and make teams key on him from behind the arc, he kind of just became a negative, because at the end of the day, yes, he's a post player, but he's not Embiid. He's not Jokic. Like, he's not to the point where you have to really load up on him when he's taking those post ups. And he's not a good rim protector, and he's not a passer playmaker like Sabonis, where like, okay, cool, you can shut down Sabonis as a scorer, but Sabonis is still going to be playmaking for the team. He's not doing that either. So the fact that his offense can be shut down, and then he's never been that much of a good rim protector, that's what's happening right now. And there's a lot of teams that don't want that, because I mean, we all know the 5 position is the most valuable position when it comes to defense.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. I don't know. I don't want them to improve their team though. I want them to get actively worse. Please get worse.
Why? Do they have your pick?
The Bulls?
Yeah.
They're the ones that decided to blow it up this year of all years. So get worse. At this point, take the L. Get worse.
Yeah. They buy in the L. Sometimes you got to just say, hey, trading for Vooch is wrong. We're gonna start tanking, because the Magic finessed the Bulls. Holy, I'm looking right now. Vooch had 1 good year.
I can teach finesse.
Like, the Magic saw that Vucevic had a 40% shooting percent from the 3 until the trade deadline, and they said, "Nah, this is fake, bro. We gonna sell this at peak value, bro. 40% from 3, bro. Give us 3 first. We got to stretch 5." And he ain't never stretched the court again. Like, holy, that probably why the Chicago Bulls failed for real. They had the idea of a stretch 5 who game and couldn't stretch.
He was also a post player at the time when post play was still kind of useful.
Yeah.
You know the funniest part when it comes to all of that, like back then, the whole he's a stretch 5 that can stretch. They had Wendell. Wendell back then could stretch the floor.
No, Wendell was injury prone. He was extremely injury prone at the time.
I never liked Vooch to the Bulls, bro. Like,
that was his main thing. Like, he couldn't get on the court.
No, I agree with you. That was his main thing. Yes, he still has like issues with that, but like, do you really? I think everyone here understood that. Yeah, we're gonna go for someone who's injury prone but has a higher ceiling than someone who's not even like a consistent all-star level big. That was always the reason. Vooch wasn't consistent all-star level big.
Most people back in that time thought Wendell Carter's ceiling was Al Horford, though. Like, he would still have been, like, his ceiling was Al Horford at that time.
Agreed, but if his ceiling's Al Horford, though, that's a good. Well, he actually added on the 3-point shot out of his prime, but that's a decent floor spacer and a good rim protector, and he's been a decent rebounder. So
yeah, but they were trying to win now. So that player was injury prone. His ceiling is Al Horford, which is on par with the level that Vooch was playing at that time. So you get the guy that's healthy, playing at the peak of this guy already, this guy's ceiling, and presumably would have stayed good, but he just didn't. He didn't work out. But like the Vooch trade made sense at that time.
Because I remember why they wanted to do that, but I remember realizing that literally the season afterwards, like Wendell was at least at his level, Vooch's level or better. So it was like they're trying to win now, but Wendell was better. So was there really a reason to trade? But I get what you're saying.
The season after, Wendell still wasn't spacing. That was the most games he had played at that point. And that was he was playing very good on defense. So
he was clearly the better defensive player. So I mean, it would be a conversation of do you rather his defensive player, what's called defensive ability, and like his fake 3-point shooting, or do you want Vooch's like? Because I'm pretty sure even the year after he got traded there, Vooch was not a good Vooch was not a good 3-point shooter. So he really just wanted his post play. So
I mean, when they traded for him, it makes sense. But I mean, that hindsight makes it look worse. But getting a 40% shooter in their relative prime for a young injury-prone player with potential to be solid, a consistent and reliable role player in the league, that makes sense to me. It just didn't.
Fair enough. Okay, so for me, I think I should have given you guys like some like ways of going through this, because the notes I kind of gave was like maybe progression in players, just let the team rock out and just let the players progress. Maybe some different signings, possibly. The way I thought of it is, you have Patrick Williams, you have Anunoby, and you have Kobe White. Those are 3 players that you've already found that maybe you want to really grow and build with. Now you don't need to. You can go and try and stock up some of those players to be behind them. So like, let's say those players show higher upside than, for example, Kobe White. You of course start with Kobe White, but I was thinking just let them progress with because you've been getting rid of all of these older players, so they get less touches and less touches, so that these young players can actually get the touches and understand what they need to do. I want to see how much better next season Kobe White is going to get. I want to see how much better baby Kawhi is going to get. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm curious about. And that's why I wouldn't really want to trade for anyone. I kind of just want to let the team kind of sit like this. To be honest with you, get rid of that nigga Josh Giddey, please. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
I would. Oh, go ahead.
Josh Giddey, he's on an expiring, so I think he's either they're gonna figure out what they do with him real quick. But what you think, Elijah?
I think you can go and pick up some project pieces.
Yeah,
pieces that for sure, like probably won't get too many minutes right now, but like guys that other teams who are contending teams have had to give up on because they're just not in the position to work with them, and you go pick those guys up.
Yeah. But with their $20 million trade exception that they just got, like, if you had to give them someone, who would it be? 20 mil.
20 mil.
Trade exception.
Like, what position would it be at least? Like,
I would like to see them pick up like a O'Shea Abaji. I really think that he's got potential in this league. But he just hasn't had time.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to think about who that was for a second. Yeah, he was pretty nice last year. Yeah. Oh, what about Walker Kessler? Walker Kessler.
No, stay away from Walker Kessler, bro.
I don't think Walker Kessler is going anywhere. I think that's the center for the Jazz future.
But he's on the trade block.
They traded him?
They were trying to trade him, yeah.
Last year, like, he is nice, but like for some reason, like
they don't want him.
They were using him weird, but like it was effective. Like they're having John Collins start at center, and then Walker Kessler on the bench, and like they were both doing pretty well at what they was doing. But hey,
they want mobility and switchability around. What's that nigga name? Their power forward. Lowry, yeah, that's why they did that, and because they're running double bigs, they both already can have some rim protection level, so it won't be at the level as, like, for example, him. But because you're also less prone to being switched on the perimeter and attacked that way, because both of them have some foot speed and are just not as bad on the perimeter as Walker Kessler. That's why. I'm guessing that's the reason why.
I would say go and try to pick up Anthony Simons if you can.
Yes, you know,
they've been trying to. They don't look like they want to keep him. He's making $25 million. I think you can clear that $5 million cap.
Wait, Anthony Simons, right?
Yes, bro. He should have went to the Magic, bro. Or Magic still should, like, Anthony Simons on the Magic is wild.
He would look really next to Kobe White. He would look so good, bro. I promise you, he'd look so good next to Kobe White.
I like Anthony Simons. I'm high. I was ranking players, and I was pretty high on Anthony,
Christ.
bro.
Wait, I just realized Kobe White is 6'5".
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Him next to Anthony Simons because he'd finally not be next to small guards, bro.
I did not know that nigga was 6'5". That is a big backcourt. Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White 6'5". Yeah. I don't know if I really want to have Ayo Dosunmu come off the bench if that's the case. I mean, I get having what's called another shooter scorer in Anthony Simons who could play off the ball, but I don't know. I mean, it still would be definitely good, of course.
I'd like Ayo off the bench, but you'd give him a lot more minutes off the bench than you would normally give him. I think that would be his best role, so he can actually be a point guard, or at least try to take some point guard responsibilities. Because he looked okay as a playmaker, in previous seasons. They kind of took that role away from him when DeMar's on the court. Kobe White improved as a player. I think him leading that bench would be more beneficial to his growth right now than being a starter.
I think, I think that's pretty much all I want to say about them. To be honest with you, what about you guys?
Not fucking Bulls, but poverty Bulls, you know.
Poverty. They're in Illinois, bro. What are we doing? They're in Illinois.
Yeah, you wrong for that, bro. Let's start talking about the other team, but we have some questions that have been being asked to me, and I was like waiting for the time that we can actually get onto it. She says, "Hey Zena, is Donovan Mitchell overrated, bro? What about you guys? I want to start with you guys, and then I'll say my reason."
To be honest, I think he's been underrated, honestly, because like even I'm underrating him a little bit. Donovan Mitchell, he's pretty consistent come playoff time. He's asked to do a lot at the shooting guard position, especially at like 6'1". He's asked to play next to small guards throughout his whole career with Mike Conley and Darius Garland. So on defense, he's asked to do a lot. Offense, he's asked to do a lot. Kind of underrated, if anything.
Very. I think he has so consistently been the bar for when a player ascends into that top tier player that you have to admit that he's a top tier player. Whenever, like when Jalen Brunson started getting really good, they were like, "Is he better than Donovan Mitchell?" Anthony Edwards, is he better than Zach LaVine? Even a little bit ago when he was averaging 27, they're like, "Is he better than Donovan Mitchell?" He's always been the bar of like that top tier consistency. So why would he not?
What would you say is top tier, like in the league, or like would you?
He's a borderline top 10 player. At any given point in time, his play is a top 10 caliber play. That's
to me. I've always thought the gatekeeper. Well, you said top tier, okay? Because I was saying for me, the gatekeeper for a superstar has always been Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum is the clear gatekeeper when it comes to
Devin Booker.
Yeah, no, I don't think D Book is a superstar player. I've never thought he was on the cusp.
Devin Booker has put up better seasons than Jason Tatum. I'll tell you that.
All right, well, we just have to disagree. I don't think that Devin Booker and Jason Tatum. I think maybe like 2023, you know, the year that they played against the Nuggets, and he just decided to torch that defense. That is the only time I've ever said that, like, okay, cool, he might be in that top 10. But usually I have Jason Tatum above the D Booker, D Mitch conversations. Also, my guy. Yo.
What's up?
We cannot see you, my guy.
Yeah, you are in the dark.
Yo, you scared the fuck out of me, bro. Yo. But Jason Tatum to me has been consistently above those two players, in my opinion.
If it's not D-Book, it's Anthony Davis to me. I feel like Anthony Davis is the best player to ever just not be a superstar. And he's had looks where he looks like a superstar. But
I'm cool with that answer. Yeah, Anthony Davis is
probably Anthony Davis for me.
Yeah, he usually is like my borderline. I'm always thinking like Anthony Davis, he's so good, but like
it's just it's always something, bro. It's always something with that.
There's something for me is his ability
I'm
not
saying
to
this.
not create outside of the paint. And that's just what it is.
I cannot disagree with you niggas harder, but it's cool.
You think Anthony Davis is a superstar?
I think he's clearly a superstar.
He's like him and Donovan Mitchell are like the
Wait, where do you guys have
like
AD ranked?
They're like knocking on the gate.
Like 7.
Yeah, I got 80 like
so who's the lowest superstar for you?
I have AD at 8.
And
Joel
Embiid is at where? Where they at? 5'6"?
5'6", yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's where the cutoff is. That's what I'm saying. Anthony Davis is the cutoff for me. Like he's the closest thing you can get to without being a superstar. But if you say he's a superstar, I don't really give a fuck because he has those moments. He has the game, but something's not there. Something's just not there.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. I personally disagree, but I disagree. Fair enough. What about you, Mars? Who's like the lowest superstar for you? Don't say Tatum. Don't say Jimmy.
No. It's like, shoot, man. I have AD at 8, and I'm debating if he's a superstar. Like that. That's all I can say. Like he's at 8, and I don't even know if he's a superstar.
I'm glad I made sure that this is getting clipped. Oh boy,
the lowest superstar might actually be Steph right now. Actually,
I swear to God,
it might be Steph.
I swear to God, I'm looking at that right now. I didn't. Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
You wanna redo your conversation then? You want me to redo?
No.
He's the lowest superstar, but the borderline is still Anthony Davis, for sure.
Steph is where?
The lowest superstar. He's a superstar, but he's the lowest.
Yeah. But where would you rank Steph then?
Well, I'd have Shea at like
6, but like
I'd have Shea and Embiid at like 5'6", so Steph would be at like 6'7", and then
Okay.
Anthony Davis would be there. Because I forgot about Steph completely, to be honest with you.
Leaf Diggy. But okay. All right. Sorry, I just sit here and I'm just surprised I hear AD not being a superstar.
Yeah, but we got him top 10 players, so like.
No. Don't listen. I'm not arguing with you guys. It's my thought of what a superstar is the best player on a championship team, and I think AD can definitely be the best player on an actual contending team. I think he could be that.
I feel like there's levels to it though. Like
he can do it with the 1A.
I agree.
You can do it, but sometimes you need to do it with the 1A, 1B. And I feel like that's who Anthony Davis is.
Yeah,
when you need to do it with the 1A, 1B, you tend to not be a superstar in my eyes.
That's when I say that you're not a superstar. Because I feel like a 1A, unless you're like clearly at that level, like the Wade and LeBron, or Kobe and Shaq in 2001, or like for example Steph and KD in 2019 from 2017, like those type of players, or Harden and KD on the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, those are different ways where I'm like, okay, cool, fair enough. I'll give you that. But usually, if you're a 1A, 1B, you're not a superstar to me. Especially unless you're like, and even if you're a 1A, if it's on something that's like a very stacked team, for example, last season Celtics, I'm not gonna call you superstar then either. That's not how I view superstars. So.
I agree, and I think the only time we've seen Anthony Davis make it as far as the championship is with LeBron, and that was 1A, 1B.
Yeah. But I'll give you that. But to me, I think LeBron and AD were like top 5 players in that league, in that series. Those are in that season.
Anthony Davis is one of the best players I've ever seen to not be a superstar.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we both just have different opinions, so I can't really argue with him on that. Yeah. We talk about D Mitch. I forgot about the D Mitch conversations.
Overrated.
Overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's underrated, like you guys, strictly because I think. How do I say this? I think he kind of, when you put in a small market, he kind of gets screwed because he's on the Cavs, because the Cavs kind of require him to beat everything on offense because fake Trae Young can't do his thing. And they don't have POA. They don't have a good POA who can also like a 3 and D wing who can actually help DeMar. The fuck?
Mobley?
Jesus, I just said
Donovan?
the D Mitch on offense and hide him on defense. They don't have that. And a really good 3 and D wing is what will actually send these guys to like a really contending level. Like if you gave this team what's a good 3 and D wing? Like not Najee Marshall maybe, but Quentin Grimes?
No, he's not a wing. He's not a wing.
I think who's Quentin Grimes is a guard?
Yeah, he normally runs 2 and a small 3. He's not guarding your 4s, 3 or 4s.
Fair enough.
He's like 6'4", bro.
Fair enough. I'm trying to think of like a good 3D wing then.
For which team?
Yeah. If they gone for Denny Advia, oh my god, bruh. This team is cooking. Now, Denny as a 3-point shooter, oh yeah, he about to scare me. But what he can bring to you on the defensive end, and his passing playmaking, which allows D Mitch to, do his catch and shoot, his catch and shoot. Oh, I would love that. Watch that team.
Oh, the Cavaliers, yeah. A mock trade that I had that I love for them if they keep Darius Garland is Jeremy Grant. Trade LeVert, future pick, get Jeremy Grant. That would be cool.
My issue with Jeremy,
fake spacer to me, bro. I don't know why. I've just always thought it was a fake spacer.
The issue with me when it comes to Jeremy Grant is that I feel like because he's been playing on garbage teams for a long period of time, ever since he's left the Denver Nuggets, I feel like he's going to be taking too many shots that he shouldn't be taking. You know what I'm saying?
He takes like 7 shots a game. He'll be fine.
The thing about him is that when he was on
he takes nearly 16 shots on the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Just to remind you guys how much that is number 2 on the Portland Trailblazers. I don't think he's just gonna settle in. It's gonna take a little bit of a time for him to slowly lose.
Okay, but like, how many does Darius Garland take? And he should. I mean,
I don't
need Mobley has not been a good enough offensive player to where I'm relying on Mobley shots. I don't need Mobley shots to win games. Yeah. I don't need. Hey. Are we getting Jared Allen shots, or is he getting moved?
Oh, you know what? I'm
Jared
No, Allen needs to move. To be honest with you, I think Mobley might have to be moved up to the 5. I think Mobley's gonna have to move to the 5, unless Mobley starts getting like to the point where he's actually a spacer, whether at the mid range or just something. Get something good. He's just gonna have to play the 5, honestly.
Okay, so let's say this hypothetically. Let's say Jeremy Grant wants to take 15 shots a game. He takes 1 less shot. He'd be taking the same amount as Darius Garland. You'd be giving Darius Garland 1 other offensive option to pass to. So hopefully that makes him a little bit of a better playmaker than just having to pass Donovan Mitchell, because almost everyone else is not great offensively. So that means Evan Mobley's not really taking shots anyways, and he's going to be moved to the 5, so he's probably going to be taking less shots from the outside. I
don't think Evan Mobley will be moved to the 5 in that scenario. I think they keep Jared Allen and Mobley, and they just move like Karis LeVert and pick. Because like Jeremy Grant, I don't think he's that valuable to where you should give up somebody who was number 6 in Defensive Player of the Year.
Wait. I just completely forgot to start this conference. So carry on what you say. I'm just gonna start this off. Wait, Cleveland Cavaliers. What is the bright spot for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Actually, wait. Just go for what they can do to improve the team, and we can talk about the bright spot afterwards. Actually,
honestly, what they got to do to improve the team, they got to find a starting small forward. As much as I love Max Strus, the fact that he did good as a small wing, as small forward, that should give you promise as a good bench player for the next season, and you find you a real small forward, because him being on the bench, that only makes you better, And I don't know how they find a small forward, but find a way, bro. Because Evan Mobley, he's going to be asked to shoot more threes. At the end of the season, I saw every game he was taking about 3 threes a game. It's like they gave him a number of amount of threes to shoot, and he was knocking them down pretty well at the end of the season. In the postseason, like when he was making it against the Magic, I would laugh every single time because like I'm not used to watching Evan Mobley shoot threes yet, but they were going in sometimes. Dean Wade, nice shooter. He's gonna keep shooting. Sam Morril, same thing with him. Isaac Okoro, he seemed like he even improved as a shooter. Like a lot of those Cavs players improving their shooters, bro. And Isaac Okoro always play hard on defense. He's another one of those guys. I think he's just a shooting guard, small wing. But
if the Cavs go get Jeremy Grant, they're gonna have to move Isaac Okoro. I think that's who the
it would be like Isaac Okoro and Karis LeVert and picks, whatever.
Bro, this team just needs like
they need a competent 3-and-D player. Either that or they trade someone. They trade either Evan Mobley or Jarrett Allen. Trade Jarrett Allen and move Evan Mobley to the 5 and then get a 4 and a 3 that can space the floor. If they could do one of the two, this team would be a contending team. But right now they just don't have the connector from the small scoring / playmaking guards to the big like rebounding and lob catching forwards. They don't have like a connector to those two sides, and that's why they've been struggling so long.
Should they have picked up Derrick Jones Jr.?
Not bad.
I think that's not bad, but I don't think that really that doesn't fix what they have as an issue. Mm-hmm. If they possibly could have done it, I mean, I know they couldn't have done this, but if they could have gone for like someone like OG, that'd be really good. KCP.
Bro.
KCP too small.
6'5".
Yeah,
he's too small. I don't think he can guard threes like that. And what you want, I don't think he can really guard threes like that.
He could, but it's just
he can.
Yeah, it's just like you're not using him at the best of his,
abilities. But to be honest with you, if it didn't go wrong, if it went badly, you could have just traded him. Because that contract that he's gonna be is like 25 mil, maybe 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
KCP, that's a little bit of an overplay for KCP, but KCP is still one of the best like 3-and-D guards, small wings in the league. So
I would be, as a connector at least, next to Mobley and Allen, I'd be okay with KCP. I don't feel like he'd be the best fit, but I think he does what you need him to do well enough to where it to still work.
Yeah, he'd be the same thing as Max Strus, but better.
If they could have got Kelly Oubre.
Oh no, Kelly Oubre was gonna stay with the Sixers.
Cool. Yeah, he was gonna stay with the Sixers. He would have been cool though.
I agree.
Yeah, they do need to find them a wing like that though, but I don't know who it's gonna be. Finding that position is one of the hardest ones. Like a lot of these teams that we be seeing fail in the NBA, it's because they couldn't find that last wing. Like the Blazers, the Warriors are doing it right now, bro. Finding those wings is not that easy. So you might have to come up off of Garland, bro, because
they drafted a guard. 6'6" guard, but a guard.
Yeah, Jalen Tyson, I know nothing about him. He was like the first player during the draft where I said this is the first name I don't know. So yeah, I don't know too much.
Who done it? Moo done it. What's good, bro? I already sent you the link if you want to come through, anyways. So, but how the hell did that? Well, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. The bright spots when it comes to the Cavs. I'm going to start with this time. Donovan Mitchell, showing who Donovan Mitchell is in the playoffs. Like, at a certain point, we need to understand that, like, even with such a team that doesn't really fully suits who Donovan Mitchell is, he was able to carry them to past the Magic, just strictly because he's one of those players that have I can't improve my team. Zach on the way. What? Oh, this nigga. He's one of those few players that does this thing where like they can have explosive games because they have combination of things. When it comes to Donovan Mitchell, is his quickness and his ability to explode off of just explode and accelerate, and his high level of shot creation from behind the arc. When you pair those things together, it's really hard to stop him. And that's why he was able to beat this coverage of long, lengthy, good switchable defenders when it comes to the Magic. And that's clear who it is. You know who wasn't a bright spot for that team? Fake Trae Young. Darius Garland. Get that nigga out of here, bro. That nigga needs to go. Trade him for like 2-3 first rounders, bro. 3? No, 2 first rounders. He does not need to be on the team.
I was trying to make Darius Garland trades because I came to the idea that having Donovan Mitchell at point guard, especially when Darius Garland was hurt, really looks good, and it makes your defense better because Donovan Mitchell at point guard position is a better defender than Darius Garland. But for the value you want out of him, who would give that up right now? Is any teams willing to trade that much for Darius Garland?
How much is Darius Garland's contract right now?
That's what it was. It was pretty expensive, man. He was on like
I check right now.
I don't know who would want Garland, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want Garland. Like, and it's crazy because the best fit for him, it was looking like the Miami Heat. And I was like, bro, you can stay away from me, man. Like
oh, you want 2 Tyler Heroes on your team? Why not, man?
No, I was thinking him for Tyler Hero. You know, you moved Donald to the 1 and then Tyler Hero to the 2.
So you trade 1 Tyler Hero for a better Tyler Hero. That is crazy. Yo.
And then they just get a better fit. Somebody who have the ball in their hand less and automatically actually play shooting guard. But I don't even think that's worth it for them at that point because you just at that point running back with Garland and hope he stay healthy, you know? I don't see what trying
to always move somebody to the damn Heat.
Thing is, I don't want Garland actually, bro. I was just literally like trying to find a home for him. The best landing spot was the Pelicans until DeJounte got traded there. So it's like I don't see another place for him.
Garland is good for y'all if y'all move Hero.
That's the only I was saying that's the only way. That literally the only way Donovan Mitchell fits on a single NBA team besides the Cavaliers is if it's to the Miami Heat and we move Hero. Like I don't see another team.
Your best case would be
the Lakers.
It would be Jimmy Butler asked out, goes to the Cavs for Darius Garland, and then y'all move Hero somewhere else.
No, I'm not trading Jimmy for Garland. No.
By the way, Darius Garland's next season, his salary is $36 million.
That's around Jimmy, no?
No. That's around Tyler Hero, honestly. No, $36 million. That's what those role players.
I'm just saying that because that is a major fuck ton. 36 million is crazy.
Yeah, it is a lot. But
did you know a team?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's making $37 million.
Really? You know? Shit. Jimmy's on a cheap ass deal. That's why he won his. Yeah, he does deserve him.
Oh, my bad. He is making $48 million. He's making $48
okay, I was gonna say 37.
I knew he was not on foot 37. I was just gonna let you.
Okay,
I was like,
Darius Garland. Okay, you're telling me you can't move Darius Garland in a $10 million contract for Jimmy Butler?
No, I don't want that.
No. Why would you want to? Yo, if you move off of Jimmy Butler, tank. And be real with you, getting fake, what's called fake Trae Young doesn't move me. I would still tank.
No, they wouldn't be. The Heat don't tank though, and
I agree with you.
The Heat don't tank. They just pretty much doubled down on building next to Bam, and I think Darius Garland next to Bam is a good fit. I think you have to move Hero though. Like you have to move Hero, and you got to go pick up somebody else.
Why don't they try and trade to the Spurs?
Because
Darius Garland.
Darius Garland.
They just got Stephon Castle with pick 4. They got Chris Paul. Like they got. I think they. Is
Stephon Castle a guard or is he a wing?
He's a guard.
He's a guard.
I mean, okay. Because I was thinking about maybe like trying to grab some of the young players, maybe like Keldon Johnson, maybe see if he can actually be a viable 3-and-D wing. I mean, he's not really a 3-point shooter. He's more of like a ball stopper, rim finisher. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to see something. Because the more I think about it, it's actually not that good for the I'm trying to think of teams really.
If you
that one Darius Garland.
Please let me know if you can find one.
The Lakers once they get off of that LeBron contract.
I was saying the Lakers in the Heat. No one else.
Well, they don't want. Why would they want any of the Lakers play? What Lakers play with the?
He'd be next to Edey.
It'd have to be a 3-team.
He'd be next. I don't know who they want though. Maybe Austin.
Who would they want?
Austin Reeves, and you get D'Lo to move off of.
It'd have to be.
I guess.
It'd have to be a 3-team.
I guess that would be fine. I guess that, and then you would have to give them a few picks as well. You can't just do both kind of picks.
Yeah, you give them picks, and then he'd be your guard of the future, and then also be paired next to AD while he's still there.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Why not maybe go over to OKC and try and take one of their bench guards?
Man,
who is the Rockets point guard of the future?
They got a couple options, and they also rather just trade something like Fred VanVleet's there for one more year, and at that point, you're gonna have Reed Shepherd. I don't think Amen Thompson's gonna be that, but I even rather Amen than Garland.
Amen's a small forward though.
I agree.
Amen's on small forward now.
I agree, but I think the point guard should be the position that they trade for. Like they use VanVleet's expiring their picks and get somebody.
I think what's gonna happen is that they might use Amen as like a point guard, or essentially what I'm trying to say is put Amen at the point guard position, because that allows you to have like a 6'7" guard, and then put him next to Jalen Green. Get another. Oh wait, Reed. I forgot about Reed Shepherd. Never mind. They have a point guard.
The Wizards. I'd say the Wizards. You could put him on there, just to put him next to Sarr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just got Bub Carrington, but Bub won't stop me from Darius Garland. They play similar, but I'm cool with that. Wizards.
Hello, John Stevens.
Really trying to think, bro.
I
promise you, I'm trying. It's not.
Wizards is cool.
I think it'd be the Wizards.
Yeah, especially they seem like they're letting go of Tyus.
Yeah, they're for sure letting go of Tyus. I'm glad he's rotting.
Yeah,
he deserves to be on a contender.
I'm glad to. Please go to the Magic, Tyus. Please
send Darius Garland to the Nets. They've been looking for like guys to build around at this point. They're not. Send him to the Nets. He'll still be bad enough. You'll still be bad enough to tank with him.
I feel like they just at that point just keep Cam. He's cheaper, and you'll just find someone else at another position to use your assets on. Especially Cam's like your only bright spot you got.
No, you move Cam Johnson. You move Dorian Smith.
Oh, I'm talking about Cam Thomas.
No, I'm saying this is you move for Darius Garland. You don't move Cam Thomas. You keep him. You just move him to a shooting guard because he can't play make. You move Cam Johnson because they were trying to move him anyways. You move Dorian, and then maybe a pick or two, but like not your this year pick for sure. Not this year pick. This is Cooper Flag pick. I think you could do that, and you'd be comfortable doing that.
Yeah, we'll see though. Garland's probably just gonna end up staying, just because I feel like this is the lowest his value could be. What we got next, Zeno?
Okay, 1 second. All right. Boom. And then the last thing that I have here is let me see. It's we already spoke about the first two things. Actually, we kind of touched it a little bit. Pause. Heavy pause. What I just said there. DeMar DeRozan has been traded from the Chicago Bulls to the Kings. What's your opinion on the trade?
What do you think, Elijah?
I think it's a good trade. I think people are going to sleep on it. I think it's very underrated.
For which team?
For the Kings. The Bulls got fleeced. The Bulls got fleeced.
Yo, he said that with no lube, no nothing. He just said it. That's crazy.
They got DeMar on a very good contract. Like his contract was very team friendly. It's like 30 something mil. No, not even. No, it's like 20s. It's in the 20s.
Yeah. Like 23.
Yeah, you got DeMar for 3 years, 20 mil. So even when he's old and slow and trash, that's an easy contract to move. You got
2 years guaranteed.
2 years guaranteed is fine. That's 40. That's nothing.
Exactly.
They're paying him role player money at this point. To go out there and be a 20-point per game scorer. He's gonna be really good.
Still being weird, bro. Sorry, Garen.
He's gonna look really good in the mid range. He's been like objectively one of the clutchest players in the regular season, and the Kings were struggling a lot in the regular season to get back to the playoffs. And I think that's where they're going to be looking the best is in the playoffs. When De'Aaron Fox gets to shine. The bonus, I don't know.
And two of his three like offensive co-partners are just like regressing in the playoffs, like they always do.
No, but like they need to get to the playoffs so they can regress. Anyways, they didn't fucking make it. So now you pretty much guaranteed a spot to the playoffs. I feel like you now have another tertiary playmaker that you can kind of lean on a little bit more. In those times where Sabonis isn't looking great or Fox isn't looking great, you have a guy that can make smart decisions or the right choices to your other teammates. The bench on this team defensively still looks really, really good. So I don't think you got to worry about that. I think this is a move that you make. It's maybe not the smartest move, but it's a move that you hope the gamble works out. And I think even if the gamble doesn't work out, you didn't lose a lot in getting DeMar on a $20 million contract.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the biggest things that I think you didn't really point out is them getting rid of Harrison Barnes. You see, when I originally thought that DeMar DeRozan was going to the Kings, I thought they were going to get Kevin Huerter, or Kevin Huerter and the Harrison Barnes. The fact they were only needed to give Harrison Barnes away was a very good thing on their part, because what that means is that they only really lost someone who was another dropper in the playoffs. Because for some reason, when Harrison Barnes touches the playoffs, that nigga can't make a shot. He cannot make a shot, and he's already like a mid-defensive player. So you losing him isn't going to be that big of a deal. Now, the issue I kind of have with DeMar DeRozan being on that team is a good acquisition offensively, but a little bit of it is that he's a ball stopper. This team is all about pace and moving around moving the ball around and causing a lot of stress to the defense because they're having to shift from left to right. But he's more set up in the mid-range and taking mid-range pull-ups. I don't know how you're going to be able to implement him into that system. So that's what I'm curious about. And then also the other thing I have an issue is the Kings. One thing we know about them is that they're really good offense. What we've always known about them is that they're mid to bad defense. You have removed one of your bad defenders and replaced him with one of the worst defenders in the league. So now I'm curious how bad that defense gonna be, because now De'Aaron Fox can't have off days. He has to be a neutral or a slight positive defender every single day. You're now banking on the fact that who's that small forward? The Keegan Murray has to be better defensively. You're banking on Kevin Huerter being better defensively. You're banking on their big being a better rim protector, because if they're not, this team's defense is going to go down the drain. That's the issue I have with this. But hey, to be fair with you, I do believe they will reach the playoffs with this. So that's a good thing.
I think that the thing is they never relied on defense anyways. They kind of just said, fuck defense, offense is going to get us where we need to go. This is that. This is literally, they have just quintupled down on offense is going to win us whatever we need to win. This team is always in the bottom tiers in terms of their defense, or at least in the bottom of the middle of the pack in terms of defense. I think they're going to still be there. They have Keegan.
I don't necessarily. Oh, go. My bad.
They have Keegan. They got their rookie that's pretty much a Davion replacement. They got Keon Ellis, who I'm really looking forward to watching a lot more of this season defensively. I think they got another guy as well, who I'm forgetting their name.
Oh, fuck yes. Right now.
Yeah. But I think this team defensively has the role players that, like, if the team's looking really bad defensively, they can just pop in at any point, at any position, at any point to really give them a little defensive boost.
That's
but
what
offensively, they're gonna live or die off of that for sure.
They have a few guards. I think you did break up Keon Ellis, who are defensively oriented. Keon Ellis is also a decent shooter. I mean, it's on low volume, but he shot 42% on 3 attempts. I'm pretty sure they were kind of open or they were corner shots, so that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I
But
was
they
watching.
do have some. Yeah, they do have these like shooters that actually can play defense in Keon Ellis. They have Davion Mitchell, although Davion Mitchell is never going to get a lot of PT because he
Davion's
cannot
gone.
space the floor. Oh, he's gone. Where did he go to? I
Raptors.
can't remember. Yeah.
They
Davion
just
ain't getting much
drafted.
minutes too.
They just drafted their Davion replacement, and he shoots better than Davion. He's pretty
I
much
was about to
Davion
say.
replacement.
I was gonna say, David. Even before you told me that, I said Davion is not getting much PT there, anyways. It doesn't matter to me because I know they're gonna get IQ playing more minutes than him. And then I was just thinking IQ, and anyways, back to what we're talking about. Yeah, with all of that being said, they did have defense on those positions. The issue is majority of their team that are starting or getting starter level minutes aren't defensive players. Right now, you're DeMar DeRozan, one of the worst defenders in the league. It was called Kevin Huerter, underratedly a bad defender. I don't think people really speak about that. Domantas Sabonis, I don't think people really speak about it. I think they think he's like a bad, like he's a negative, but not that bad. But no, he is bad. He's bad. he's bad. And then I think also
Malik Monk.
Domantas Sabonis is mid. He's a mid to bad defender. I actually think he's like slightly negative. Cottage 81 says, do you think that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be a playoff team next season? Sky is blue. Yeah, they're going to be a playoff team next season. Do you know how easy the East is going to be next season? Like, it would be a shock if they don't reach the playoffs. It would have to be like a lot of injuries. But what about you guys' opinion on that?
My opinion. Wait, what team were we just talking about? Because the Kings.
He said Cleveland Cavaliers going to be a playoff team next season.
Yeah, but I'm not even responding to that, of course. So the Kings, the Kings. I like this trade a lot. A lot of opinions on it. I just got done recording a video on it. Y'all are right about the defense, and I love how y'all mentioned Keon Ellis because I think he should start at shooting guard for this team. He may be like the 7th best player, but he shot 40% from 3. He's a really good defender.
Go ahead.
I'm confused on one thing about him though, on how tall he is. I was watching him today. I was watching Kings games today. That's the thing. Look, he's listed at 6'6" on a bunch of websites, and then he's listed at 6'3" on a bunch of other websites.
He looks like a tall guard in the small wing.
Exactly, but I was watching him today to like make sure. I'm like, yo, he's standing next to Draymond, and he doesn't look tiny, but Draymond is also like 6'5", like reported.
No, Draymond's 6'7".
All right, so 6'6". So like, I'm confused with how tall Keon is, but even if he's 6'3", he's really good defensively, and he shoots threes, and that's what the Kings need. They need spacing and defense next to DeMar, and then their bench it gets a little bolster with Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk coming off of it, with Devin Carter, who's going to be a POA defender. You know, they got a little bench squad, and then they got Trey Lyles.
Yeah,
I think
Go ahead.
He's like came in like SWAT. I'm crying. Yo, sorry. I think that the thing is though that what they needed is that I think the reason why they haven't started Keon Ellis is at the end of the day, Keon Ellis can actually space the floor, but it was called Kevin Huerter is a movement shooter. That is something that this team's offense needs. It needs movement shooting. So removing a movement shooter for someone who can space the floor, yes, that helps your defense, but it stunts your offense. That's literally what you're made of. That's your bread and butter. High fast and paced. Jesus, high paced and fast movement around your offensive centerpiece in Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. So if you then proceed to remove one of the better parts of that team, which is the movement shooting of Kevin Huerter, and you replace it with Keon Ellis, it's not just gonna be like a small drop. It's gonna be even bigger than that because that's just how their offense works. That's why I think it's the reason why they haven't started.
Yeah, my fault. I got cut off.
Yeah, your mom came in like SWAT leader.
Yeah. Nah. She came in to give me some pills. I got into a car accident the other day.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I told her my shit, bro. Yeah, shit tough. Yeah. JaVale McGee though, they should sign him back to because Sabonis he's the problem. Like we're talking about this team's defense. It's a problem that they always had. As long as Sabonis is on your team, you're gonna be a bad defense. Like you're saying that he's a slight negative. I think he's a big negative. He's a bad defender, poor defender, shit defender, and it's only because of his position. It's because like he's a bad defender. I'm trying to give him excuses.
You can't play him as a power forward. His best attribute on the defense is a rim protector, and he's not.
But he's such a good offensive player that he is going to outweigh his defensive problems. But the Kings this last season, they were the 13th ranked offense. And like you look at them as this premier offense, and that's not what they were last year. Everybody on their team had a down shooting year. So as a team, they're looking at each other like, come on, we're going to knock down our shots next year. You know, like y'all boys, we're going to knock down our shots. So hopefully they do that and play defense. Keon Ellis is somebody who I like, who we talked about. Another guy who I like is Kessler Edwards. Kessler Edwards, he doesn't play much, but every time he plays, he seems like a willing role player, 3-and-D. He likes to cut, and he doesn't do too much. So another guy like that next to DeMar DeRozan, 6'8", two-way wing role player, cool. I like this Kings team. They probably a playoff team. They have a ceiling for sure because DeMar and Sabonis on defense.
I got you, Elijah. I got you. Okay.
And DeMar DeRozan and Sabonis, like I kind of like going into playoffs with both of them because De'Aaron Fox, he's showing me that like I can't say he's a playoff riser yet, but he's shown me like very much a lot of promise in the playoffs. And then you just hope DeMar or Sabonis like come on, poke them and like one of y'all step up, bro. And both of y'all can't choke, right? Come on, at least one of y'all step up. We can win a round. But if they both choke, not every team is here to win championships. The Kings, they had a 20-year playoff drought. Making the playoffs is enough, bro.
That's the only reason why I'm like not too hard on them. I think the Sabonis trade, as much as it gave them a playoff berth, was a horrible one in retrospect. But I don't really blame them because when you've not even seen the offs or the play-in, to be fair, I think they would have reached the offs earlier if the play-in wasn't only placed in 2020. I think they were like the 9th seed in 2018 or 2019. Yeah. So that's what I have to say, but I pray.
Y'all remember back when Tyrese was a defensive player back on the Kings? Holy shit, bro.
Tyreke Evans or
Tyrese Halliburton?
Halliburton. He was bad then defensively.
No, he was not. When he came in as a rookie? No, he was not.
Yes, he was. He was
no,
a bad
he
defender.
Was not. You're chatting if you think Tyrese as a rookie was a bad defender.
He was.
He just was not.
All I remember Tyrese as a rookie was like that he was a good 3-point shooter with a funny shot and could pass. I don't really remember defense. I remember him being skinny.
He was not a good shot creator. He was not a good defender. He wasn't a good his good thing was that like he could pass and play make at a decent level, like a decent good level, and that he could space the floor. The issue with him though is that he kind of wanted his offense required for him to have the ball in his hands. Same thing with De'Aaron Fox. That's why they traded him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it that we have to say for today. Thank you all for coming through to the NBA off-season. Chicago Bulls versus Cleveland Cavaliers versus plus Cleveland Cavaliers. The Hoopsters podcast, episode 19. And Mr. Smiley guy up here, Mara is here, and Elijah is here. So thank you guys for coming through. Stay safe and peace.